This video is about why you should trash all the books you own up until this moment and only read one. This one right here. A little disclaimer, this video is for you if you haven't yet figured out how to, be financially free. If you are, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, you should probably skip this video. You're not gonna get any value out of it. Before I review to you what the book actually is, there is 3 concepts that I have to go over prior to it so you can understand what is the reason on what was the thought process behind choosing this one book as the book that will literally take you from where you are to where you really want to be in your life, okay? Without further ado, let's begin then. First, the expert guru syndrome. If you don't know what that is, you probably have seen thousands of ads of gurus out there teaching you how to do Amazon FBA, wholesaling, Shopify, do print on demand, or maybe you should do some consultancy business, or all sorts of things that are just on the internet. Nowadays, everybody's a guru. The problem is, and why I call this a syndrome, is because vast majority of these people are teaching you things that they've never done themselves, right? Everybody's a guru, but they do not have any sort of evidence or proof to support their claims. Maybe the person tried to, start this business, made 10 bucks, and now they're selling a course on how to start XYZ type of business. And this is the vast majority of people out there, 99%. I'm not saying that there's not someone that is legit, right? And I'll list some of the people here. For example, my favorite person out there to follow is Hormozi. He's pretty legit. His results speak for himself. So he doesn't need to present any credentials. The evidence of what he's done is already enough for you to know that he actually knows what he's talking about. So anyone with a little bit of brain cells can spot those fake gurus from a mile away. Usually they only make money from what they're selling you and not from what they're teaching. They haven't made their money from the actual stuff itself. It's just by selling their course, their training, selling you their program. That's how they're making their income. That is a very important discernment that you have to make in order to choose what is a good book that you should pick up and read, what isn't. That kind of leads me to the second point, which is the copycats. Now, what I mean by copycats is vast majority of books out there, once we have eliminated the gurus, are just copies of other books that existed previously or somebody else's ideas. For example, Hormozi launched the $100 million offers, one of the best books that I've ever read. And what he'd done was years of experiences that he had, books that he read, and everything that he achieved over the past decade, he compiled that into one book that outlined a process that you can follow step by step, but he implemented his own ideas. Nowadays, people are just too lazy. They don't want to actually do the research. They do not want to put in the hours, put in the time, embrace the suck for as long as it takes to be able to create those ideas themselves. Therefore, the vast majority of the books out there are just simple copies from, previous successful books that people don't know about. With that said, just pay attention to those nuances. This type of book has no substance. They have no value. They won't provide anything extra for you so you can actually take action and get some sort of result. There is no value for you, only value for the person that wrote the book that is getting money out of it. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong about selling a book, but the intention behind of it is not to actually help you, is to help them make more money. In Hormozi's case, for example, with $100 million offer, he created so much value for everybody else, and therefore, as a byproduct, he's making a lot of money with a book. Don't get me wrong, I love making money. I want to make as much money as possible, and I'm going to play this game until the day I die. It's what I love doing. Instead of like reading every single book out there that you can put your hands on about making money, look for the ones that present old ideas in new ways, right? Like a good indication if a book is worth at least picking up or purchasing is if that book is going against common wisdom, right? So it's an unconventional approach to something that we've been kind of taught through media, through, society in general. If you notice that a book is going against the current, you should definitely try to see what that book is about. At least it's going to be worth your time, in my opinion. That's what I found over the past couple of years. This kind of leads me to a quote that I've heard in the past, which is, be a student, don't be a follower. Make sure whatever you decide is a product of your own conclusion. The point of that quote is you should absorb the information that other people, your mentors, your peers are providing, that you get out there. Come up with your own conclusion about the information that was presented to you, and that make your own decisions. Don't follow other people just because they told you to. Make sure that you're really thinking through what you're going to do. With that in mind, that brings me to the next point before I review the book to you, and it's about indoctrination. We've all have been indoctrinated to be broke, me included, every single one of us. The reason is because we've been taught, even from schools, that we should show up at a certain time, in school, for example, 7 to 3, 9 to 5, or whatever it may be. Then in your work, 9 to 5 every single day. You have to respect that. You can't go against authority. You essentially have to behave in a certain way. If you want to go to the bathroom, you have to ask for permission. Every single thing that we've been taught kind of prepared us for the workforce. 40 years giving your time to build somebody else's dreams, and then retiring when you're too old to even enjoy your retirement in the first place. That is the gist of what we've been learning throughout, life over the past, I don't even know how many years, centuries. When you look at this from like a getting rich perspective, we've been told that you should, put all your money in 401ks, put your money in the stock market, put your money in high yield savings accounts. And you don't have control over any of those things. You can't control the stock market. You can't control a return that you make on a high yielding savings account or in your 401k, and none of that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do those things. I'm saying that the way that we were taught about, how to invest and where to invest and what the approach should be is counterintuitive or directionally oppositional to getting rich. If you want to get rich, that can't be the way that you choose to approach your life, right? And I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, that's what you want. So without further ado, this is the book that I recommend, and it's called The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco. Amazing, incredible read. Never mind the title. The title is a little bit cliche. It gives you an impression that this is going to be like some sort of shortcut, that you're going to take and all of a sudden you're going to become a millionaire. But that's not it at all. In this book, he talks about every single detail that you, as someone that wants to have a better life, that wants to make lots of money, that wants to have control over your life, what is it that you should do? This book goes completely against conventional wisdom. It breaks down, the main things that gurus out there will preach, how to spot them, how to avoid them, how to prevent them, how to save you thousands of dollars that you would have otherwise invested in things that would provide you no value or, move you forward in your life whatsoever. In my opinion, have 3 more things that are very, very important. And if you do, by the way, I do not have an affiliate link for the book. I'm not, nobody asked me to talk about this book. I'm just doing it because I read it and it really transformed the way I saw certain things. And I want you to perhaps, take that blindfold as well that you might be wearing right now that just got imposed onto you by society. The three things that this book really opened my eyes towards was it completely shakes our world in what we've been taught so far about getting wealthy and getting rich, and what are the necessary steps to actually build that wealth. It goes completely against conventional wisdom. That's one of the most important things that I like about this book. Second is about implementation. So there are steps for you to actually follow and implement. It don't just talk about concepts and theory and so on and so forth. He will give you stories and how he did what he did with his own life, but also give you tangible implementation steps for you to apply that to your own life, which might be different than the position that he was in. We all are in different circumstances, different places in life, and it's important to adapt and adjust those things to your own situation so that you can keep moving the ball forward day in and day out. And the third thing, frameworks that you can actually implement right now to make decisions, important decisions. One of the things that I noticed in particular for me that really prevented me from moving forward, for years in my life was I couldn't figure out what was the most important thing, how to make a decision or how to weigh things out to say, hey, this is what I should be doing when you have 3, 4, 5, 10 options. And this book really clarified that for me. So again, I highly recommend this book, The Millionaire Fast Lane. I think, it's going to be a good read. If you do decide to pick this book up, comment below here what you think, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if I'm completely wrong, what are like the recommendations that you have, what other books have you read. And bonus tip for you, and this is only if you have already achieved some level of like financial independence and financial freedom in your life and you're looking for that next chapter. This is a book that I highly recommend. Some of the best that I've ever read, but it's for a different time. It's when you already have some sort of security, when you're already making enough money to not have to worry about money anymore. And it will give you like great insights. So, try to read this one if you already have the money situation figured out. Now, if you like the video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell so that you get notified once we post those videos. This is a brand new channel, but we're starting to post 3-4 videos per week. If you liked this video about what books to read, you might like this video as well. So click here and I'll see you next time.